Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 29th of November, and do you know what that means? That's right, the exploration sale continues. We have some pretty good deals for today. Truth be told, in some ways they're probably better than yesterday's deals, despite the fact that yesterday was Black Friday, which is a little smidgen weird. But anyway, I digress. We shall get on with the show. I'm going to start out with Borderlands, the pre-sequel. It's available for 34% off, or if you prefer, $39.59. That's if you're paying in dollars. On the other hand, us Brits get to pay a rather stellar, actually, to be totally honest, $19.79. So, what is Borderlands, the prequel? Well, I don't think it really... well, pre-sequel, should I say. It doesn't really require me to explain. It's, of course, the rather zany, rather overhyped RPG, which has rather humorous elements inside of it. I'll be honest, the game has a few problems. Primarily that it's tied to the last generation of consoles, right? So what you have is nice art style, but the graphics could maybe be a little bit better. It's basically... how can I put this? It's Borderlands in space. So here's the deal. If you've not liked Borderlands before, you're not going to like this one. If you've loved Borderlands before, well, I think you can guess where I'm going with this. If you've not tried Borderlands, may I humbly suggest you try Borderlands 2 because it's only $4.99. You've also got the original Borderlands, but unless you're really interested in the storyline, I'd probably recommend you go with number 2 because it basically does pretty much everything the first one does, but just with shinier weapons and stuff. I don't really have anything bad to say about this game. It's just that it's quite expensive, especially the dollar price. So if you don't have any and you're not really bothered about I must own the latest, which I know some people are really interested in, but if you're not that person and you just want a game, probably get number 2. Anyway, as I was saying, Terraria. This sucker is a feature on pretty much every Steam sale ever. I don't think I've seen a Steam sale without Terraria. It is a staple. It's $1.99 as well. That's dollars. If you're paying in pounds, it's $1.39. If you're a fan of the old 16-bit type of era retro adventure, well, this sucker is amazing. It's almost like, how can I put this, a Metrovania. You start out with very simple weapons and armor, and you basically craft and build on the world, and it's really fun, especially if you're playing with other people. I'd hasten to add that the game's had a series of updates which have really improved it. Now, you might look at the game and say it's just a 2D Minecraft and that's it. But you'd be really wrong. It's a hell of a lot of fun, in my personal opinion. Really worth it. For the price, it's an absolute bloody steal. I can't recommend it enough if you're interested in something a little bit different. Speaking of not very different at all, actually, Call of Duty Ghosts, $14.99, that's dollars. On the other hand, pounds, you're looking at $9.99. So, this is 75% off, and I really have mixed feelings about this one. The game on release was not that good. It, in performance terms, sucked. And this is a problem actually on the consoles as well. Numerous patches have helped performance, but most of the complaints in terms of the gameplay of it being very samey, very safe, very meh, to be honest, they're still going to be there. Now, if you're an absolute massive Call of Duty fan, you've just not really had chance to pick it up, the problem is you've got Advanced Warfare, which basically beats Ghosts in every single way possible. Now, I'm sure there are some people who are going to really love the multiplayer aspect of Ghosts, but I think really the die-hard Call of Duty fans are probably going to be moving on to Advanced Warfare. If you're looking for single-player experience, to be honest, Advanced Warfare is better, and, well, pretty much all of the games here, well, almost all of them anyway, offer a better single-player experience than what Ghosts offers. It's probably one of the weakest in the Call of Duty lineup. It's not a bad game. It was really, really reamed on release, and it's not that it's awful. It's okay. But at this price, you could possibly say, you know what, I'll consider it. But, you know, is it really worth it? Probably not, to be totally honest with ye. Next, Thief. $7.49. That's dollars, pounds, £5. I'm just going to call it £5. It's $4.99. But really, do you care about the penny? Do ya? Do ya? Anyway, there is also a few other options like the Thief Collection, which gives you all of the old thieves and various other bits and bobs. But we're going to be focusing on just the main game. I actually have mixed feelings as well about this one. Now, I quite like the original Thief. I'm talking, you know, the very original one, which was released like in the... When was it released? Late 90s, early 2000s. I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't really matter. It was much more open world than this one, but it had problems. Primarily, they're known as zombies. And I think the world kind of went a bit silly when Thief 2 also had a couple of problems, not quite as many as Thief 1. Thief 3 is definitely the worst out of all of them, my personal opinion. The problem with Thief, and it can be pretty much summed up in the following sentence: the game world is not big enough. That simple. You feel that a lot of the areas, if they were 30%, 40%, 50% larger, they would be really impressive. Now, I have a feeling some of this is down to the fact that it was also on the previous generation consoles, and the console-itis, if you will, has hurt the game some. It's still a good game, and the storyline is pretty solid. It's not astoundingly original. It's not gonna win, you know, writing prizes, but it is pretty good. The voice acting is fairly solid. There are a couple of graphical glitches, but they're nothing bad. We have covered it on the channel as well. We've done a full graphics analysis of it, and it looks quite beautiful at times. It really does. There are some ropey textures, but it looks quite nice. For the price, it's one of the better deals, to be frank. It's a pretty good game. I don't have any real qualms of recommending it to you. I would suggest it. If you're interested in like a single player experience, story-driven narrative, you could do much worse. Okay, let's go with that. Okay? Anyway, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Now, I've got to be honest, I've not tried this one. I've tried the original Binding of Isaac, but I'll talk about that in just a second. Pricing is $10.04. I'm sure that 4 cents will go towards many different items in your inventory. And meanwhile, us Brits, we pay a pretty good price. Not the best, but $7.36. Not shabby, I suppose. I haven't played Rebirth, but I have played the original Binding of Isaac, and you can look at it as like an RPG shooter. I have covered the original on the channel, haven't covered Binding of Isaac. It scores pretty well. You don't need a high-end PC as well, which is definitely a good sign. So once again, if you want like something to play on like a netbook, that type of thing, you just kind of want a pew, it's great on trains, low power devices, certainly a positive. Overwhelmingly positive results as well from the community. I will warn you, the only slight negative for this, and personally I think it's a positive, but I'm aware that not everyone has my stellar constitution, is that the game is pretty fucked up. I do mean that. I would suggest looking at least my video, or at least a few screenshots or a video, if you are easily made squirmish, or if you know that there are someone squirmish, you know, that might be playing the game. So in other words, don't buy this for someone who's really just, you know, gets overly sensitive about the stuff, because it's basically about this kid, Isaac, who is, well, abused. And he's basically in this nightmare world where he's fighting, like, well, God knows what, zombies and everything else, and it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty odd. It reminds me of like an 80s horror movie in that regard. I quite like it, but I'm a bit twisted, so yeah. Anyway. Where are we? Where were we? The Stick of Truth, South Park, $13.59. No, actually, yes, $13.59. That's dollars, of course. Hence my really shitty American accent. And what was the British price? Where was the British price? Lost British price. Where was that? No. Apparently I didn't lose the British price. I was just looking and saw that it's still the same. It's actually $13.59. So us Brits literally get bent over on this one. But, I suppose it's horses for courses. Sometimes Americans get it worse as well. Anyway, Amata covered this. She said it's pretty good. It really is a good South Park game. I think this is how I would classify this game. And I haven't played it, but this is pretty much from everyone I know that has played it. And I know a couple. And judging from reviews and all of the other gubbins, if you like South Park and you haven't played the game, this is a good price. If you don't like South Park, if you don't like South Park's sense of humour, if you don't like the whole atmosphere of South Park, you're probably not going to like it. That's the best way to put it. Anyway, moving on. Rather swiftly, we are carried with the wings of the swift. You can pay $8.49 and you can get The Walking Dead Season 2. And if you pay $6.45, us Brits can buy it as well, and it's a pretty fun experience. You can also buy the Telltale Collection, which is 33% off, which is meh. And by the way, the original The Walking Dead is the same price, so I'm not going to bother to list all of that. Now, this is what I'd say. This is not really the comic. Sorry, this is not the TV show. I'm sure most of you know this, but the characters are mostly different. You might run into the odd one from the TV show. It really depends on your decisions, a lot of it. But a lot of the end results are very predetermined. Now, I will say, before we continue any further, that don't buy Season 2 without buying Season 1. There's two reasons for this. One, your choices from Season 1 carry over to 2, and the second reason is you are going to be screwed. You're going to be asking for medicine. You're going to be so screwed, because the storyline follows on, and you're not going to know what the hell's happened. If I were evil, if I were if I was a little devil whispering from your shoulder into your ear, I would highly recommend you buy both. It's a very good series. So anyway, as a normal caveats about Walking Dead, that it's pretty bloody and all that crap, but I'm sure most of you don't care about that and you know about it anyway. It's pretty obvious. Next one, $2.49. That's British pounds, and that will buy you Fallout New Vegas. I'm trying to make this spicy. It's really difficult to read out, pricing and to make it sound interesting. I'm thinking about composing a little ditty next time. $2.49 will also buy you it in US dollars. Once again, us Brits get screwed, but it's like 50p or whatever we get screwed out of, so who cares? Anyway, that's what they want us to say. Fallout New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas. I will say that I'm actually yet to complete a Fallout New Vegas. I'm actually yet to complete any Fallout. I've played them and I quite like them. The problem with the game is that it's so open world, I kind of get bored. And I realise that might well get a lynch mob after me, but that's just me. I really like a more structured storyline. That's just me personally. It's a bit weird in that regard, because I quite like Skyrim, and I get on with it much better than Fallout, and typically I really like post-apocalyptic crap. I'm a really big fan of like the post-apocalyptic 80s movies, for example, but I think one of the things that pissed me off about Fallout is I got to a stage, I don't remember where it was, I think it was about 8 hours in, if I had to put a number on it. And there was basically a quest that I had to do, and the dude would not spawn. He physically wouldn't, and I googled, and it was a bug, and I don't know what I did. In the end, I did a cheat so that I could spawn, and at that point I was like, meh, and other games came out. I'm not saying it's a crap game, I'm just saying that you're either going to love it and you're going to fall into the world and you're never going to emerge until you've finished every little area, or you're going to be like me and you could say it's a good game, you like it, but you don't love it. The fact of the matter is, it's $2.49. So if you've been interested in it and you've missed it, it's a good option. It is, however, on sale at pretty much every opportunity. This is basically their bring and buy sale. You know how everyone kind of just brings the cans of crap that's in their cupboard? Well, that's this. Anyway, what is the last one? Because I'm sure there's one other. 7 Days to Die. Another one that I've not really personally played. It is early access. It's $9.49. That's dollars. No, that's pounds actually. I'm sorry. I completely and utterly lied to you I have misled my public. It's actually $12.49 if you're paying in dollars, and once again to clarify, $9.49 if you're paying in pounds. You can also buy a 4-pack of this, which is $14.99 if you're paying in pounds. It's not bad. It's a zombie apocalypse type of situation, and it's one of those titles I've not really personally played. I would recommend doing some Googling on this one, because it's fairly open world, multiplayer, co-op type of shenanigans. It's still early access, but from what I understand, the developers have not abandoned it 3 seconds after launching it, which is always a plus, always a positive. Although it's pretty sad that I have to actually mention that as a positive, it really is that I do. It's a good game from what I'm hearing. It's probably not necessarily for everyone, but when it's anything for everyone, right? I just realised I've been talking for like 15 minutes. I don't know how, but anyway, I have. So let's try and blast through the rest of them. These are available for one day. I'm not going to go for all of them, because frankly I've not played all of them, so I don't want to bullshit you. But I will go through the ones I do know. Dragon Age Origins, $5. That's $5 or $3.74. You can also buy the Ultimate Edition. Unfortunately, number 2 is not available, but unfortunately, number 2 isn't as good as the original anyway. But you probably want to play it for the storyline, blah blah blah. It's worth buying. I'm just gonna say that. Just pick the game up if you're interested in RPGs. It can be a little bit slow paced. It can be a little bit frustrating. But the voice acting is amazing, the storyline's amazing, and holy shit, I love the theme tune. I could literally listen to that thing for ages. As Witcher 2, The Assassin of Kings, $2.99. That's dollars as well. And so, it goes to only £1.04 for the original Witcher. Both of these had massive problems on launch. They were far too difficult. They were actually bordering on the level of rage-inducing, because I believe it was the second one, I'm almost positive, didn't even have a tutorial. And so, true story, I tried to cover it for RGT. I believe it was I believe it was number 2. And I tried to cover it, and it literally had no tutorial or anything. And some changes were actually made to the combat and stuff like that, and I hadn't played the original in ages, and I didn't really get on with the original that much at the time. I hadn't given it a fair chance in the game's defense, and I literally just went in and I kept dying on the same section. I literally just kept dying, and it was a common complaint. After a bit, when I kind of understood the system, and now if you've played the game, it's completely different, because they've actually refined it, they've fixed some of the controls, they've given a tutorial, which is always nice, and a few other bits. Now the game experience is really good. The bottom line with this title, first of all, you can get it DRM free on GOG, but the usual caveats of it's really cheap at the moment. The second thing I would point out is that I would highly recommend you play the first, then the second, because usual thing, storyline carries on, and therefore, well, you probably want to know the storyline on this game. I'm going to quickly go through the last couple. Fable Anniversary. To be totally honest, it could have been better. It's okay, 50% off, meh. If you really love the original Fable and you can deal with the problems that the game had, the fact that it wasn't really maybe quite what we expected, and you are quite happy with the fact that graphics are okay, they're not a massive improvement, then you can go ahead and pick it up. On the other hand, it's $17.49, that's dollars. That's a lot of money in the Steam sale. It really is, especially if you're operating on a smaller budget. Not bad. Outlast, $5.99. May I humbly... $4.99, sorry, that's dollars. May I humbly recommend that if you have a PS4, don't buy this. Instead, go ahead and buy it on the PS4. Or actually, no, if you've got PS Plus, get it on the PS4. There's very little difference. The PC version does look a shade better, but this isn't really a Twitch first-person game anyway. If you can pick it up on the PS4, it's free if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. I believe the same could be said for Xbox, but I'm not 100%. No, actually, I think Xbox, you have to pay for it. So if you're a PlayStation 4 owner, just play it for free, is basically what I'm suggesting. If you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, of course. If you're not, this is still a really good horror title. Nothing wrong with the PC version. It is better than the PS4 version. It looks ever so slightly better graphically, particularly if you're happy to throw up, adjust the levels of anti-aliasing and all that crap. But generally, I figure if you can get it for free, right? what other games? That's actually it. That's all I've played. Rogue Legacy, actually, I will mention, is really good. And Marta continues to rabbit on about it, and she does inform me that it's pretty awesome. I'm going to quickly go into a couple of other reasonable deals. I'm not saying these are the best deals ever in the history of mankind, but I'm just going to quickly mention a couple. Alien Isolation on Green Man Gaming. I can only access the UK pricing for this, so I don't know about US. But the UK pricing for Alien Isolation is $15.99, not too bad. Arkham Origins is $3.74, pretty much the same. Darksiders franchise pack must have gone up because it's listed at £50, which is quite frankly ridiculous. You've got XCOM Enemy Within for $4.99, so that's pretty good. So it could be an option to check those out if you so desire. And may I also point out that if you happen to mosey on... and they've also got Tomb Raider Game of the Year edition for $6.24, which is a pretty good game as well. Could well be worth checking out, in my personal opinion. And if you happen to mosey on over to GOG, they're actually saving 80% on all the Unreal games. So you can actually buy the entire bundle for $7.96, which is pretty impressive. With that, you'll get Unreal Gold, Tournament, The Awakening, and Tournament 2004. Personally, I actually really like the story of Unreal 1 and 2. I have covered them on the channel. So you can check them out if you so desire. Finally, I will point out Origin. Origin actually has some really good deals at the moment. And unlike Ubisoft's Uplay, it doesn't make me want to scratch my own eyes out with pure rage. So that's nice, because I actually have eyes to play the game after I've bought it and loaded it up. They've got the original Crysis, for example, for free. These are, once again, pound prices. I can't access the US ones. But anyway, it's $3.74 on Crysis, which isn't bad. The original Mass Effect is $2. Dead Space, $2.49, really good. I've covered both of those on the channel. Dragon Age Origins, $3.74. Pretty much the same as Steam in that regard. Spore. Mirror's Edge, actually, is a freaking good price. Really good price, actually, seeing that. $1.24 for Mirror's Edge. Really, really good game. Alice Madness Returns, $3.74. What else is there? Middle of Honor Warfighter, not a bad game either, $2.49, at least in my opinion. Mass Effect 2, $2.49, really fucking good. Kings of Amalur Reckoning, which I believe is actually cheaper than what Steam had it. It's $4.99, that's pretty good. They've got all the FIFA managers and all that, which I personally don't give a rat's ass about, but that's just me. Need for Speed, same deal. Ooh, they've got Bulletstorm, really good game, might I add. Very much worth buying. Assassin's Creed, all of the Assassin's Creeds, not that anyone's probably going to want them at this point. So they're the older ones. They've got Assassin's Creed, they've got Far Cry 3 though, Digital Deluxe Edition, $3.99 for $4.99, I'm sorry. And Far Cry, the original Far Cry 3, just the standard one, for $3.74. And they've also got a really good deal on Blood Dragon. It's $2.99. So I'd recommend some of those titles. There's some really good deals there, if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, for some reason or as to another, I don't know why, the actual Dragon Age Inquisition and stuff, they've not got a sale on, and that frankly sucks balls. Speaking of things that absolutely suck balls, I'll mention one final little tip for you all, because I am a wonderful, kind individual. I'm benevolent and Christmas spirit and all of that crap. If you buy Dragon Age on the PC, and this is just, I'm pretty sure this is still going on. Let me just double check this. You can hear me type. I normally pause this, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be a lazy bastard this time. It involves me clicking on something. Dragon Age Inquisition. Yes, it's still going on, which is absolutely freaking ludicrous. And don't ask me why they're doing this, because I don't know. Amazon currently, and this is for the UK, and I'm pretty sure it's for the US and a few other regions as well. And this is the bollocks that I was referring to with digital pricing, might I add. Pure and utter bollocks. So much bollocks it makes me cry inside. You can buy Dragon Age Inquisition for the PC for £34. Not $34.99, might I add. 34. It's dead on. 340.00. Now, the confusing thing, the thing that will make you kind of fuzzled, is that the actual digital download is $49.99. So basically, you're paying £16, well, actually £15.99 for the benefit of downloading it. So basically what I'm saying is if you want the PC DVD version and you're not like needing it this second, just for the love of God buy the you know, retail version. And I believe, he says, double checking because I don't want to give you bullshit. I believe it's the same deal. Yes, it is actually the same deal, at least as far as I can see right now. No, actually no. Ubisoft are being... I'm actually going to say this, and it actually makes me feel dirty inside, but Ubisoft are being sensible. The actual online game code is apparently the same price as the PC DVD. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway. I don't want to continue anymore, because frankly, I want you to have money left. Anyway. I think I've given you so many deals at this point, you probably have had enough of me, to be totally honest. I'll let you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. So, take care. Bye for now.